What up, YouTube? Ed coming back with my final video for 2023 as promised. Doing this on New Year's Eve after the abomination that was the Eagles versus the Cardinals game. They really need to fire somebody after that absolute shit show that I just watched. Oh my God, that game was absolute dog shit. It was really bad, guys, and they're not going anywhere this year. I think it's pretty safe to say that. You lose to a 3-win team like the Cardinals. Again, another team from fucking Arizona that just absolutely sticks the dagger into a Philly team. But the Eagles the entire year, if you've been watching the games, and I stress this a lot on the channel about watching the games, if you watched the games with the Eagles this year, you knew that they had a ton of issues, specifically with their coordinators, the defensive coordinator and their offensive coordinator. Brian Johnson is a clueless dolt. He has no idea what he's doing. Just really, really bad. I would rather trust a teenage boy playing Madden to call the plays or an old school vintage bro who hasn't watched a game in 30 years to call the plays, other than that bozo over there calling the plays. Absolute trash. Just an embarrassment. They're not going anywhere this year. They're going to get smoked in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the NFC should probably be the Niners. The Cowboys can't win shit on the road. I feel bad for the Lions. They got the Montreal screw job to them for the 1 seed. They should be the 1 seed, but again, the Montreal screw job that happened to them yesterday. I didn't expect my final video of 2023 to be a rant, but after that abomination of a game, I just have to feel like I have to go off on that. Just really, really bad. Let's try to reel it down. Let's try to take some deep breaths, Filmington style, talking about sealed wax to kind of get this right. But yeah, just really, really bad. I think it's the finality. I think I'm taking this loss harder because it's the realization that this team is not going anywhere. And they really looked solid for a couple months, but yet again, another Philadelphia sports team with just god-awful coaching. I don't know what it is about the Philadelphia sports teams, whether it's the Sixers, whether it's the Phillies, whether it's the Eagles, whether it's the Flyers. It seems to be the same old story with all these teams where the coaching, the person calling the shots is just a clueless dolt. We had it with Rob Thompson, and now it's with the Eagles. So the PTSD is raging hard. And yeah, it's just the perils of being a fan. Which, a little segue into some of my 2024 outlook. My 2024 outlook for YouTube and for the hobby is just to, again, have fun. But also from on the YouTube side of things, I want to try to focus. There's a lot of videos that get posted. Let's address the elephant in the room. There's a lot of videos that get posted nowadays in the community, and there's some really, really long videos that get posted, some great podcast episodes, and a lot of great live streams. So it's really tough to try to get to everyone's videos. I know everyone has that struggle, but I really want to make it a priority in 2024 to focus more on collector-based channels, but also collector channels that really have a love and passion for what they're collecting. I want people to be living and dying with their teams, and I want people to be living and dying. I don't know. I find that connection more appealing to me, maybe because that's the way I approach collecting. I'm a very passionate sports fan, and I view collecting, personally speaking, I've said this many times, as an extension of my fandom. So because I'm a sports fan, I like to collect. And I don't know, I always find it a little weird, personally. I always find it very strange, very weird when there's not that connection there and the person collects. But again, that's just me. I'm going to show a pickup that has absolutely nothing to do with sports. So it might contradict my last point I just made, but whatever. It's been a long day watching that filth on TV. But this is the final card I'm going to be showing off on the channel for 2023. This is from the N222 Keeney Brothers. I definitely said that wrong. This is the Leaders. I don't know. It's from the 1800s. I picked this up a little while ago. It took the seller a little while to ship. This looks really beautiful. It's in a PSA Excellent to Mint 6. I know people have been picking up Napoleon cards, Napoleon this, Napoleon that. A lot of people picking up some non-sports vintage Napoleon cards. Well, this is the guy that kicked Napoleon's ass. This is Lord Wellington. And just really, really beautiful artwork there. Look at that. Big fan of Sharp's rifles. And Wellington's a character in that. It's a historical-based drama series that stars Sean Bean. But Wellington is obviously one of the commanders there because it goes over the Napoleonic Wars. And yeah, Wellington was the guy that defeated Napoleon along with the Prussians. But you can see who's on this checklist. You got George Washington, Napoleon, Wellington. Lafayette would be another one I really want to try to add to the collection in 2024. Definitely want to pick up some Lafayette cards. Unsung hero of the Republic. Then we got General U.S. Grant. Then we got the other guy who I'm not even going to say. And then there's a whole bunch of other people here on the bottom. You got Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar. So a lot of interesting names on there. But collecting-wise in 2024, again, going to be focusing on the Philly teams. Going to be focusing on the Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, as I try to do. I'm spread out pretty far. I cast a pretty wide net here on the channel and just the way I do things. Definitely want to try to focus a little more on Game of Thrones. I kind of lost my step in 2023 picking those cards up, of course, because they did go up. But I really want to try to make it a focus to finish off that Season 7 set that I've been trying to put together since 2000, since it was released, 2018, I think it was. Need 4 or 5 more cards. It's just that they rarely pop up on the secondary market, and when they do, it's always, they're buy it nows, and the prices are just not feasible. So that would be my primary goal, is to finally finish that set, and that'll be the final Game of Thrones set, autograph set that I would like to complete. Also, do plan on going to the National in Cleveland. I mentioned that many of times, so I'm sure people are aware of that. But also want to make it a deal to try to go to a couple more card shows over the course of the year. Card shows are always a great time. They're always a lot of fun meeting up with fellow YouTubers in the community. Just going around the show and just getting the general pulse of the hobby. Talking to dealers, interacting with them, and seeing how things are going. And then I think finally, another goal for 2024 is to try to pick up a couple more of the pre-war and golden era vintage Phillies. I definitely want to add more Robinsons and more Ashburns, but also some Chuck Kleins. I would love to add a Playing Days Grover Cleveland Alexander, or one of his cards from even after he retired. That would be nice. Try to get some Grover Cleveland Alexander into the collection, because his stuff's pretty affordable, actually. And also, I would love to try to get maybe an early card of Cornelius Mack, Mr. Philadelphia himself. Definitely been slacking there. I know when I went to the Neshaminy card show, I saw a lot of great photographs of Mr. Mack from the 30s and the 40s. Probably should have picked up a couple of them. Probably could have got a good deal on them, but that's also that. Also, another thing on the YouTube side of things, speaking of good deals, I do want to also make it a point on YouTube to try to watch channels that aren't completely obsessed with value. I feel that's a big elephant in the room. I feel like even a lot of the videos I watch now from people who present as collectors, it's always talking about the monetary value of the side of the hobby, which it is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It just, after a while, it just becomes, I feel like, background noise. It gets boring after a while. So definitely want to maybe try to thin that out a little bit in 2024, just from a consumption of video perspective side of things, if I can find the right words. But 10 minutes of your time on New Year's Eve, if you're watching this on New Year's Eve, or if you're 5 beers in on New Year's Day, starting your 2024 off the right way. That's all I got for you. I'm still pissed off about that game, that Eagles game. An absolute embarrassment. People better be fired tomorrow. Start the new year off right. Purge half these coordinators. Brad, we are a dumpster fire. Nobody can fix this shit show. So that's all I got for you guys. Have a great one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe you had a laugh. Who knows? Take care.